Real estate is actually the best hedge against economic collapse if you know what your property can really do. The World Economic Forum just released a 200-page report, and on page 18 it says AI will displace 92 million jobs by 2030. 92 million jobs by 2030 will be displaced. It's not a typo. AI today, we look at Waymo in the cities, self-driving trucks, AI lawyers, Chat GPT replacing writers. So we're here talking about real estate. So if you're thinking about selling your home because of this economic uncertainty with jobs, stop. Just hit pause. What I'm about to show you could add $100,000 to maybe even $500,000 to what you'd walk away with, but only if you do this one thing. Real estate is actually the best hedge against economic collapse if you know what your property can really do. The largest economy in the world isn't tech, it's real estate. If 92 million people lose their jobs and they can't pay rent, well, where are they going to live? They're going to live somewhere. They're standing on planet Earth. They're going to live on their real estate, in housing, in land. Most homeowners are about to sell their property at a fraction of what it's worth because they don't know what their land can do. Is it a house? A house and land? Is the land worth more than the house? You got to find out what the land can do. So here's the typical scenario. You own a home and it's a decent sized lot. Let's say it's maybe a half acre, 2 acres, maybe even 10 acres. The economy gets kind of wobbly and you want to cash out before it gets worse. So you call a realtor and they give you a sales price, a number based on comps. Comps means comparable sales, what similar homes have sold for. But here's what the realtors don't check. Can your lot be split in two? Can it be split into 4 or 6 or 15? Can it be subdivided? Can you add an ADU, which is called an accessory dwelling unit, ADU, or maybe 2 ADUs? Can you build a second home? Can you build a shop, a barn? Is there additional development potential in your land? Most realtors are great at what they do. They sell homes, but they're not land developers. They really have no idea unless they went out and got those specific skills. They're not land experts, they're home experts. So if you list for $500,000, when your property could actually be developed into maybe a $1.5 million development or a $2.7 million development. I've seen this happen hundreds of times in the decades that I've been in this industry. Good people leaving 6 figures on the table or more. Why? Because no one checked what the land could actually do. So here's what you do before you sell your home. Step 1, you want to get all the repairs done. So if you're thinking that you're going to be selling your home, don't wait until you hear news reports that the market's doing this or that and the other. Oh, we're starting to get a dip. Don't sell a fixer-upper in a down market. Spend $20,000 or $50,000 on strategic upgrades. Maybe $100,000 extra value added to your sales price by making these simple repairs. Fresh paint, updated fixtures, add some curb appeal out front, and do it now while you still have the equity before the market dips. The loan to value ratio that the lender will give you is going to dip as well. In addition, with loan to value ratios, as an example, if a lender will say, I'll let you cash out up to 80% of the value, so they want a 20% cushion, they might drop that to 70% loan to value. So you just lost 10% of cash out equity, and they could drop it further and further. And I remember in 2008, a lot of lenders just stopped completely giving cash out refis for home improvement. Do it while you still have equity. And then you want to check your land's feasibility. And this is really a game changer. You need to find out what is your property zoning. Can you subdivide that land? Can you add an ADU, accessory dwelling unit? Are there any wetlands, critical areas, restrictions, buffers? What's the highest and best use of the land? Just because it's A home doesn't mean it's the highest and best use. I'm sure you've seen homes around urban areas that get bulldozed and then a Chick-fil-A goes up. That's because the use got outmoded and the zoning changed, and the highest and best use became commercial. And so, better use of the land, the value skyrocketed. It was worth it to tear that house down. So, listen, this is a quick 10-minute desktop check that could reveal 100,000, maybe 500,000 in hidden value for you. Most brokers skip this completely. They price the property just as a house, but your land might have development potential or other potential that you're not selling just a house if it has these additional development potentials. It's an opportunity, and now it becomes a business, not just selling a house, which means the value can dramatically change. And so that changes everything. Step 3, you want to list at the right price. If your feasibility check shows that your lot can be subdivided, price it accordingly. Why? Because a developer will pay a lot more than a regular homeowner, sometimes 2 or 3 times. It's hard to conceptualize a $500,000 house in your mind. It's worth 500. Maybe I can get 556 for that property to be worth 1.5 million or $2 million. I've got a great story. Homeowner that I helped her, just real quick. She had a evaluation, a broker's opinion of value at 1.6 million. Someone said, "Hey, go talk to Don. I know he's in land development." So I looked at her property. I said, "Yeah, your property is worth at least 3.2 million." She's like, "What? There's no way. It's double." I said, "It is." And so they had me consult. I developed their property. By the time we're done with the development, I sold it at escrow. The closing price was 4.4 million, and she started at 1.6. True story. So, developer's going to pay more than a home buyer will pay. The other option is you do what this couple did, is you develop it yourself. You either learn how to do it through books and training and courses like what we offer, or you hire a land consultant. They go through the process with you, or you work in conjunction with a civil engineer. So you can develop it yourself, split the lot, you can add an ADU and sell it for absolute maximum value if you do it yourself. It's not that hard. You can still have professionals come in, hold your hand, help you through the process. So let me give you an example. I've got a couple of examples. I had a client in Pierce County, Washington, and the house was worth about 400,000 based on comps. Standard suburban home, nothing special, cookie cutter, vanilla. We ran a feasibility study, took about 2 hours. It's a quick one, so we found out right away. Turns out the lot could be subdivided into 4 parcels under the current zoning. Suddenly, we weren't selling a $400,000 house anymore. We're selling 4 lots, which in this location, raw, unentitled lots were worth about $250,000 each because it was a high-end area with views. Another client, just a little city lot, older home, and the broker said $350,000. That's the max we can get, $350,000. So we checked the zoning. Turns out she could add an ADU in the backyard, 800 square feet. So remember, we started at $350,000. Full kitchen, bathroom, and when the ADU was built, the property appraised for $525,000, and then she could rent out the ADU for $1,800 a month while living in the big home. That's $175,000 in value, plus guaranteed monthly passive income, all from one zoning check. So let's say you don't want to sell. Doesn't matter what the market's doing, you don't believe it, or you don't care, you love where you're at, and that's fine, write it out. But this is something you can do just to be prepared. Is plan B is you can rent the house out. If you move somewhere cheaper, turn your house into an income property. They'll help pay for your cheaper rental, and you'll be less financially burdened with that lower cost housing. If you rent it, it'll hold value better than selling in a crash, which can strip away 20%, 50% of the value. Think about adding, if you want to keep it, add an ADU. It's adding value monthly. It's a second income stream on your existing property. Knock on wood, hope it doesn't happen, but if you or me along with the 92 million other people, has an income drop, the rental income keeps coming in. So the other option is hold the land. Houses lose value in crashes. They always do. Houses do not go up in value in a housing recession or a crash. They go down. Land holds value pretty strong. It might dip a little bit, but not like the roller coaster of a house. So if your property has development potential, that value doesn't disappear just because the economy tanks. The key is know what your land can do well before any crisis at hand. So if you're thinking about selling, or you just want to know what your property is really worth, do more than hiring a broker and giving me a free CMA, a free BPO, broker's price opinion. Do that, but do a feasibility study, especially if you have acreage or anything more than an acre. But then again, in the cities, you see people adding 1 or 2 ADUs of these tiny city posted stamp lots. So really, all properties need a feasibility study, and you can do it yourself. So I've created a free tool, which is basically a 60-second pre-feasibility checklist. It accompanies Feasibility First, which is my ebook on feasibility studies for anybody. Anybody can do it. It took me over a year just to write that book. So it walks you through the exact questions you need to ask about your land before you sell. So you can download it at the link in the description below, of course. And if you want the complete system, that's the introduction, kind of high level, tells you what you need to know. But if you really want to dig in deep, the system that I use is my internal forms and internal documents. Is a 3-phase deep dive feasibility process. I've got feasibility calculators. It shows you the cost. You can calculate the cost of your development. Goes through all the critical areas. It's really a very comprehensive. It's what the banks want. So that information is there for you. The links are in the description below, and they're on our website at academy.realty10x.com. So whatever you do, just don't leave money on the table. So I appreciate you watching this video. I'm Don Lesky. If this video has helped you, do me a favor, please hit subscribe. It means the world to me, makes a difference with our channel. And I'll post new videos on land, property values, and real estate every single week. If you drop a comment down below and tell me if this video is interesting to you or if you'd like to see something else, I've got a whole lineup for the next year of videos that I'm creating. And I'd happily just slice one of those in and cover a subject or topic or go deeper into this one. So I've got more videos coming up. But remember, when the economy gets scary and you get nervous, real estate isn't the problem. It's the solution. But only if you know what you're sitting on. The question is, are you going to panic and sell for pennies, or are you going to check your feasibility, find out what your property is really worth, couple that with your CMA, with your feasibility, and then you'll have the real knowledge of what you can do with your property. That way, if you do sell, you'll walk away with what you deserve. So last thought, don't be the person who sells a $4 million property for $400,000. Download the information. It's free. There's no obligation. And I'll see you in the next video.